Hey there, bookkeeping side hustle community. It is Kate, and you will notice I have a guest sitting beside me today. This is the first time that I've had this. Margie Davis is here, and we have been excited. She just moved about 2 hours from me, so we've been planning to get to know each other in person, and we're going to lunch after this. But right now, we're here to talk to you all about how to learn about payroll in general, and then how to pass the Intuit QBO Payroll certification. Margie is the Intuit certification expert. And so she has, obviously, when they came out with that new certification, she created one of her fast and easy courses to go along with it. So you might know her from her QBO Pro Advisor training and QBO Advanced Pro Advisor trainings that a lot of y'all have benefited from. And then she's also created a resource to help people get the new payroll cert. So we're going to learn all about it today. We have a link for you for free resources to kind of get a whole lot of value from her. And then she also has her course available. Those links are available below. But I want to give her a chance to introduce herself and say, I'm so glad you're here sitting beside me.
I know, it's so exciting.
No masks, we're all good. It's like we're back to normal times and kind of neighbors. So.
And yes, kind of neighbors. And we had to overcome all of our technical difficulties for figuring this out. So I'm Margie Davis. My company is Crystal Clear Cashflow, and I'm the creator of the Fast and Easy Way to QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor certification. At this point, I have trained thousands of bookkeepers and helped them get their Pro Advisor certification. And so last year, Intuit released a QuickBooks payroll certification. And immediately, of course, people started knocking down my door to get a fast and easy payroll version, because the payroll certification is no joke. So and that's what we're going to talk about today.
Hey, while we have some of you listening live, can anyone chime in that y'all can hear us because we're sharing this mic?
Yes.
That'd be beneficial. Tell us where you're listening from. And one thing I wanted to mention for those of you watching at the beginning, all of Margie's courses have a discount for our community, capital HUSTLE, capital H hustle. So when you go to any of her resources, which will be linked below, if you're not ready for this payroll cert, if you need another cert, use our discount. There's one on this course and all of her others. So if anyone's listening, I'm hoping you can hear us. No one's saying hello yet. And we will be, I will be watching the comments if y'all want to ask something live while we're going through it. But okay, Margie, you told us about your background. I want to know, I don't know much about this cert. So please tell us what the QuickBooks Online Payroll certification is. Tell us about kind of general how it's broken up. Why did Intuit create this? And why should a new virtual bookkeeper or an experienced virtual bookkeeper take this course?
Right. So let me kind of start from the last of your questions and kind of work backwards.
All right.
So the reason, so people have clamor for certifications. What I hear from the Intuit folks is that everyone is always asking them for more certifications. And the reason that people love certifications is because it gives them it promotes them. When you get your basic level certification, you get listed in this Pro Advisor directory, and then, people find you for free, and, basically they're marketing your business for you. And then every time you get an additional certification, that kind of bumps you up in the list, so that more eyeballs are on you. So number one is being listed in the Pro Advisor, having that badge, being able to pat yourself on the back and say, hey, I've got that certification. But what the certifications do is, because you know more and you have more confidence and you can charge more for your services. And here's the thing, even if you don't ever want to do payroll for somebody, just having that badge, two quick things I'm going to tell you. One is, just having the badge is going to bump you up. That doesn't mean you have to offer payroll services. It just, gets you higher in the directory. So that's a good thing. And then I just wanted to tell you my little quick story about
us.
this. Kate was saying before we got on camera that people are somehow scared of payroll. And that was absolutely me. It was absolutely me. So here's the thing that you may not realize if you are just starting out is that as your business grows, eventually you will have to get a paycheck, right? When you're very first starting out, you just have owner's draws, the number, all of the money is yours, but eventually you'll have to get your own paycheck. And that happened to me.
Okay.
So my accountant said, okay, Margie, it's time. You got to start. And so I didn't know anything, even though I'm this QBO expert, I didn't know anything about payroll. And I said, just do it for me. And so they were doing it in a different system and they were sending me the reports every time. And I was going in, I was putting them in QBO, just like, I'm supposed to. And it wasn't until I actually dove into this payroll training that I realized I was doing it totally wrong. So I was putting in my net pay and I was putting in, see, you're laughing because exactly.
I can imagine doing that.
Right. So I was putting in my net pay. I was doing my expenses for taxes instead of using a liability account. Like it was just a mess. And so after this is kind of crazy that here I am, the expert, and I had to dive into this training to learn, I've been doing this all wrong. And then it took me weeks to clean up my own books so that's the next benefit is just to know your own books and know what payroll is all about and how it's supposed to work.
Well, I'll jump in there. So I like to advise people, none of us need to be doing payroll anymore. I mean, you can, and some businesses need that. You need to charge a lot for that because payroll is high pressure, it's time sensitive, and it really is emotional. Like with if you mess it up and the direct deposit doesn't go through. But QuickBooks has a payroll system where your clients are hitting run payroll, or you set it up on auto and it runs it for you. So this idea of doing payroll, I think, is a concept that new bookkeepers kind of really need to understand. You want to provide outsourced payroll services. You do not, if at all possible, don't be filing the tax forms. Pay the service, or your client should be paying the services that do that, and then you're just guiding them. And that's what these certification is going to tell you. You're going to be able to speak the lingo. You're going to be able to say, yes, you're doing it right. Yes, here's hourly versus salary, all the different things. And because eventually one of your clients is going to grow. If you don't grow big enough, one of your clients is going to grow big enough, and they're going to need to offer payroll. And you want to be able to be a soft spot where they can land and direct them well, even though you're not the one hitting run payroll. I just texted my sister, y'all, to ask if she could hear me. So I hope someone chimes in and says they can hear us.
The sound is working.
But so that's why we need training like this. And y'all hear me preach all the time that we really, really, really have to know what we're doing. And you really have to understand why payroll taxes go to the balance sheet in a liability account before they move to the income statement, and only a portion of them do, and all this stuff. So I'm really glad that you emphasized that you can't fake it. You had a couple of weeks, maybe you might run one or two payrolls and kind of get it right. And then you're gonna be like, no, my books are wrong. So please, please, please take the trainings. Even if you don't need the cert, if you don't need the badge, put your staff through these, put yourself through these if you don't know, because it's people's livelihoods. People feed their families with their paychecks, right? So take it seriously, y'all. Yeah. So where were we? So we talked about why someone needs to get this. Should we move into the training, or should we move into Intuit's training before we move into yours? Where should we go?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. So, okay.
Tell us about
that. Opens up a whole can of worms.
Tell us about. So we're in our QuickBooks Online Accountant account. We have this free training available. What in the world is this training? Give folks who aren't going to necessarily need your support, but just tell us about the training. Like if I want to log on today and start it, where do I go? What's it like?
Yeah. So here's the thing is, and I was shocked by this, is the payroll training in Intuit's, in Intuit's Pro Advisor training area that you might be used to if you have your other certs, which by the way, you do have to have your basic level cert in order to even take the payroll test.
Okay. You have to have your QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor cert.
Yes.
Okay. But not advanced. Okay.
Right.
Good to know.
Right. But you do have to have that baseline level before you can even take the test. So if you've done that, then you're pretty familiar with what the Intuit training is like. Well, this particular certification is unique in several ways. First of all, there are 2 different courses that the test covers. Normally, the test, there's Intuit training material, and then there's the test, right? Well, this test has 6 different sections. The first 3 sections are all based on material you'll learn in a different course, which is called the Payroll Specialist Fundamentals. And if you go and you look in your ProAdvisor training, you're going to find that under specialty courses. Okay, so the specialty courses, Payroll Specialist Fundamentals, that's what I call all of the compliance stuff. It's all of the laws and regulations. And you have to really slog through that information, even though you might be, yawning a little bit.
Medicare what?
I know. Right?
Social Security what?
Yeah. Because you're going to need all of that knowledge when you hop over to the final 3 sections, which are the actual QBO payroll. So you're going to need to understand what are garnishments before you learn how to add garnishments in your QBO payroll system. Okay, so that's one thing. Is those 2 different courses in Intuit that you have to study. The first course, that Payroll Specialist Fundamentals, is nothing like the typical the typical Intuit courses that you're used to, because it is entirely video based. It is an accountant or somebody, sorry, I can't remember who it is, but she is just going through slides, and she has recorded herself talking about all of these different things. Because they are, and this is key, because they are video based, there's nothing to go back, and there's no documentation. There's nothing to go back and look up. You either have to take really good notes or you have to request the slides from Intuit. And Kate mentioned earlier that I've got a free document that is everything you ever wanted to know about QBO payroll. And in that document, we're going to talk about those 2 different courses, so you don't have to remember it right now. And also it's going to give you instructions on how to get those slides. And the answer is you have to sign up for an Intuit boot camp. That's the only way that you can get those slides.
But when you get the slides, so first, the link to that resource, y'all, is below in this YouTube description. So click that and get the free download. When you get those slides, are they searchable? Because I always have passed my QBO test with Control F. Like I'm searching for the part of the material. So you can
it's
still
a PDF.
Control. Okay.
Yeah, it's a PDF form. It's a PDF. So it's still searchable. But here's the thing, the answers are still not in there. They still don't cover everything that you need to know for the test.
Okay.
And so you will have to, while you're taking the test, you will have to Google, which in my other courses, I'm always like, never Google, because you never know what's out there. So you will have to Google, you'll have to use IRS websites, and you have to use, the Department of Labor's Wage and Hour Division has a ton of fact sheets, and the fact sheets cover all of these different rules and regulations for who's exempt and what overtime is and hours and all of this kind of stuff, all these fact sheets. So that's another thing that I have in the document, in that freebie document, which is linked down below, is how to get those fact sheets, because if you're just using the Intuit training, you're going to need them in order to pass the test.
So I think that's pretty genius of Intuit to do that, because none of us should be wasting our brain capacity on memorizing the Department of Labor material, right? Like that's what, like so payroll basically has to do with, like, or a big portion of it is taxes. And so whenever the word tax comes, you have to be Googling, because it's going to change every year.
Yeah.
It's, the withholding for unemployment is going to be this.
Yeah.
So that's great that you're learning to Google and how to navigate different websites, because that is how we should all be approaching payroll if we want to be responsible for guiding our clients. Like search what the withholding rates are, and search it's different by state, y'all. It's very complicated. So don't don't memorize this stuff. Look it up. Google it.
Right.
Like seriously, I've been around not long, but long enough to know that's what all the people with like all the letters after their name, they're Googling the most recent stuff too. So let's practice our Google even on this test.
Right. So that is super, super valuable. And I can't tell you how many times in my course I actually say that.
Okay, perfect.
So I say it so many times that some of my beta testers were like, I think you've said it enough.
All right, cut that part. Got it. Okay.
Right, exactly. So that is true. Absolutely in real life that you have to have those resources. But here's the tricky part is that the certification test doesn't match necessarily the current rules. So passing the test, you're not necessarily going to find what the actual current thing is. You're going to answer the test question based on what they taught you in the training. Okay. So that is, that can be tricky, which, and did I finish talking about, so the first 3 sections are this compliance stuff. Okay. The second 3 sections are the Intuit training like you are used to using. Okay. But have you ever seen a sample company for payroll?
No.
Right. So
I haven't used QuickBooks Online Payroll. So, but it's basically teaching you how to use the application.
Yeah. So here's one of the struggles that I had when I first started learning how. I'm like, okay, I want to, last September, when they released this, I was like, okay, how can I go into a sample company and learn how to run payroll or do anything? And I asked person after person. I asked the person that actually designed the certification course, the woman that did that at Intuit. I said, is there a sample company for this? And she said, no. And I was like, that's crazy. How are we supposed to practice if we don't have a sample company? I'm not going to go practice on live, person. Right. So I asked her, and then I went to an Intuit boot camp and I asked the teacher at the Intuit boot camp and I said, is there a sample company? And she's like, nope, there's no sample company. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Well, guess what, folks? I did the hard work and I found the sample company. There is a sample company. Okay. You just have to know how to get to it. And so that's in the freebie document too. So when you say really important to be
sample company where I can say, I'm going to add 2 new employees and I'm going to put them on a $15 an hour and a $30 an hour. And I'm going to have one salary
garnishments.
And okay.
And can click actually to run payroll and I can adjust the taxes and all
I thought you were going to say you built a sample company. I was going to be, I think you're in the wrong business. Right. You're going to be writing code. Okay. Well, so I found it and I, download the resource
Download the resource so you can learn how to get that sample company.
So we know why to take the test. Yep. We know kind of what it's like. It's not surprising that Intuit is also kind of changing the flavor of their training. You said the first part, I think that's going to have to be expected. As we are staying in this bookkeeping world, there's lots of different ways people are good or learning about educational techniques. So you just got to roll with it, guys, and push through and get the cert. So when I get this cert, do I have to recert?
That's an excellent question. So when they first announced the certification last year, they asked this, people asked that of Intuit and they said, is this going to be on the same recertification schedule? And at the time, the woman who had done this presentation, who had actually created it, said, she said, there will be recertification, but we don't know what the schedule is going to be. Okay. And I actually reached out to them just a few weeks ago. And because recert's in the spring, but the changeover, I don't want to get too detailed, but the changeover for the new curriculum will be at the end of October. Okay. So I said, is there going to be a new curriculum for payroll at the same time? And they said, there's no plans for that.
So maybe not a recert as of now?
Maybe not a recert as of now.
So get it now and maybe you'll be grandfathered in.
Yeah. So yeah, so if you go on my website, if you decide to get the course, you'll see that it says limited time only, and that's why. It's because we don't know what Intuit's going to do for their recertification stuff. So absolutely, you want to get it. If you're going to get it now.
So and for sure before October, because then it will change. Like if they want to use your material, though, it's better to use it before October. Probably.
They said that it's not going to be on the same schedule. So I don't know about that.
Well, let us talk about your course.
Yeah.
So we're going, she has a course just like her others. We want to screen share because you've added some new educational techniques and a new platform. So shall we just start screen sharing now?
No, let me just talk about a couple of things first.
Please do talk about it.
So I'm super excited because we did put this new interactivity. I don't know if I just made that word up, I think, but these interactive tools, we put them in all of our courses, but this is the first time I've had a chance to show Kate. So I'm really excited about that. But I just wanted to briefly tell you about the course. So Kate mentioned earlier, she asked briefly, and I didn't have a chance to answer, about whether you're doing the Intuit training as well as my training. And the answer is no. My course is designed to replace the Intuit training for the purposes of the test. Now, that's not to say there isn't value in Intuit's training. There absolutely is. But as I just mentioned, the Intuit training is scattered. Like there's no way to look things up. You have to actually Google some of the information, which may or may not match what's actually on the test. And there's no way to practice in the sample company. And so it's so scattered, and it's really difficult to pull that all together. Now, some people have, and I bow down to them because honestly, I tried to do it myself and I failed. And I didn't really, until I really dug in to develop this course, really wrap my head around it. So our course is fast and easy QBO. And just like all of our courses, we have a video description of everything. We have quick notes, so it's kind of like your cheat sheet that's searchable while you're taking the test. We have hands-on exercises. We teach you how to get into the sample company, and we added these new interactive tools, which are really cool. So let's go ahead and share your screen so I can walk Kate through it.
I'm gonna hit
add right here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, add that. Yeah.
Nope, it's in here. We're gonna do right here.
No, this one.
Okay.
There we go. Yay!
Yes. And I think I just want to reemphasize. There's a difference between passing a test and knowing the material.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
So please continue to educate yourself about payroll, depending on the extent to which it's a part of your business.
Yeah.
You have responsibility to do that. This is a way to increase your exposure in the Pro Advisor directory. It's a way to get a badge to put on your website, all that, y'all. And Margie has she's always said that. There's no passing these Intuit exams at no point ever in any of the badges ever has it mean that you're a good bookkeeper. So it means you have been able to. It doesn't even mean you know the software. It means you've passed a test. And because the reason I know that is because there's wildly better bookkeepers than me, and I have collected a lot of badges because I can take tests well. But I know that I'm not as experienced at the accounting and bookkeeping side. Yeah. So please keep that in mind. All right, Margie, I'm going to have the mouse right here for you.
All right. No, you're going to drive it.
I'm driving.
Yeah.
So this is the course.
So this is inside our course, and I just picked a somewhat random lesson to kind of show us. So when you go inside the course, you can see that. So on the left-hand side, we have all of the lessons, but then on the right-hand side, so we're here in lesson 5.
All right.
And if you scroll up to the top a little bit, that yellow bar shows you how it matches up to the Intuit training. So if you wanted to go back and look at it there. So, and then we have a video, which you're not going to play. That's just like me teaching the information. That's one key difference really between my courses and what you'll find with Intuit is that Intuit just presents the information. I actually teach the information, and I actually have a vested interest in you making sure that you actually learn it, that it's not just going in one ear and out the other. And so for that reason, we created these interactive tools. So if you scroll down a little bit, you'll notice underneath the video is what's called a quick notes review. So the quick notes are our manual, our textbook that goes with our courses. And it's really just basically what I said in the video so that you can, so that it's searchable, you can remind yourself. So you're going to use that document then to then go do these exercises. And this one just has 3 quick exercises, which we'll show you. So we'll just click the arrow down at the bottom.
Right here?
Yeah, right there. And scroll up a little bit so everyone can see.
Oh, goodness, crossword. Yeah. What does the Fair Labor Standards Act control?
So we have crosswords. So do you know what the answer is?
What
there?
does the Fair...
I don't want to put you on the spot.
Employee? No.
Yeah.
No, tell me the answer.
So if you click show hint, then it actually will tell you where to find the answer in your quick notes. And so you don't have the quick notes in front of you to be able to look it up. So I'll just tell you the answer is overtime.
Okay, so I would type in overtime.
Right.
Overtime.
Yep.
To employment of minors.
Yep.
Okay, hold on. No.
Yep, just start typing.
Minors.
Oops. There you go. Oops. Oop, you're on 2 down. Oop.
Sorry. The 3 is minors?
Yeah.
All right, I got it wrong.
Yeah. No. Click on it right in here. There we go.
Minors.
Yeah.
And then what is my question 2? Just tell me the answer here.
Overtime, minimum wage. Yeah.
All right.
There we go.
And so now I'm going to get it right.
Yep.
I got all green.
Yep.
That makes me feel happy.
Yeah, good. So now you're just going to go on to the next one. She's scrolling because the laptop's in the way. That's why she can't see. Okay, so now we have another one, which is drag and drop.
The F is
I
enforced
said
by
this
the
earlier.
Department of Labor.
Department of Labor.
By the Hour and Wage Division.
Oh, let's see.
Hour, wage.
No, you didn't get a check mark.
Uh-oh.
So it must be.
So wage and hour.
Right.
So I move them out.
Yeah.
And I'll move wage here.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope I never work for the wage and hour division of the Department of Labor.
Right. And the next one.
5 states. Put in correct order.
Mm-hmm.
Have not adopted. No, hold on. What do we got here?
Have not adopted a state minimum wage.
State minimum wage.
Yep.
Okay.
There we go. So now you got your check mark. Woohoo!
And
yeah. So that's done. So now you can show answers. Say yes, and you can go back through and you can see. Oh, go back. Oh, scroll right here. Click right there. Yeah, and scroll through it again.
Right here.
Yep. And so now you can see what all the correct answers are.
Okay.
Okay. So we have these fun interactive tools that help reinforce the whole purpose of this. These are not the hands-on exercises that we're doing in QBO. This is just to reinforce the information in your brain because, again, I'm all about teaching you the information, making sure it sticks with you. And then we've also added for every lesson a quiz. And these quiz questions are based on actual real questions. I mean, they're not the real questions, obviously, but they're all very similar to the types of questions that you're going to get asked. So if you click Take Quiz, that's going to open in a new tab. And see if we just covered this. So let's see.
Holiday pay.
I'm putting you on the spot, right? Holiday pay is not covered. Which agency?
Wage and Hour Division of the Department of Labor. 7 states have not.
Ooh, tricky one.
Was it 7?
It was 5.
It was 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Submit.
Yeah. So you would just enter your information and then that sends it to us so I can monitor everybody and how well everybody is doing.
Okay.
And then once you click send, I don't know if you can do it without putting any information there.
I don't know if I'm a student, so what's going to happen?
It doesn't matter.
I can, I'll just put bookkeeping side hustle at Gmail. Typing under pressure.
I know.
Okay, let's see what happens.
Yep. So once you've sent them, then we give you the correct answers. And not only do we tell you what the correct answer is, but we tell you how to find it in the quick notes. Okay. So then this particular lesson doesn't have a hands-on exercise because this is part of those first 3 sections that are just learning, the basics.
The compliance. Yeah.
Right. All the compliance stuff. So I just wanted to show you real quick what an exercise looks like.
Okay.
So an exercise, click the
here?
other tab. Yep. Yep. So you have if a lesson has an exercise, then you just click the link and it'll open this again in a new tab, and it'll tell you exactly. You start in the sample company. You have to set up payroll in the sample company. Here's the scenario.
So we're adding an exempt employee.
Oh
This
yeah,
says it
I
right
should
here?
have said that.
Okay.
Yeah. So this particular exercise is how to add an exempt employee. So now we have a little story about Ellie exempt and all the information that you get from her W-4. And so now we have to add Ellie to Craig's payroll. And so then it's going to tell you step by step exactly how to do it and where to click.
Wow, so I'm thinking about this almost being like this portion being a refresher tool whenever I do actually, like, when I'm not trying to pass the test.
Yeah.
But when I have a client who needs my help, and I'm like, I remember Ellie exempt, and I haven't added an exempt employee in a year. So how do I do that? So you can actually have the practical knowledge instead of sitting online with support, right? Because that's what we always do, is log on to Intuit support and say, I need to do this one random thing. And they're like, no, I remember Ellie exempt. So, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's the course.
And so I would have this open on one monitor with my demo company on the other.
Yep.
And I would be clicking, like, I'm going to be actually adding I'm going to be adding Ellie exempt, and that's the goal. Yep. That's how this works.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you could have it on two different screens. You could have it on the same screen. We just happen to have it, blown up full screen.
Sure.
For us to see here today.
Well, I think this is nice because, like, even if I wanted to practice, the thought of like coming up with like all the different, like, you've probably come up with like some really weird thing, like, okay, like, you got child support, you got minor, you got like all these different ones that I wouldn't even be able to like be creative enough or probably take the time or disciplined enough to do those practices. But this is really good. Like, okay, what is this random thing that I have to do? Yeah. Or splitting change. I'm just guessing, like, change your withholdings or how to put the direct deposit in or stuff like that. So I think these examples are super, super helpful.
Awesome.
Thank you. Well,
right,
if anyone have any questions, chime in. And we're slowly getting to wrap up. I'm proud of to see this. I've taken your advanced research or your research material, and this is definitely like a step up. You can tell that you've put a lot into it. So congrats on the new educational platform.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let me look at our questions list.
Back to this one.
Oh yeah, we'll remove this.
There we go. Hi everybody, we're back.
So how long does it take me to get my badge? Again, it's not going to teach me payroll necessarily. And I'm not going to be a payroll expert, but to get this badge, what is your ideal or your typical student start to end time? Right.
Well, it's fast and easy. So you can do it in a weekend. So you can get it takes about 8 hours to get 8 or 9 hours to get through the material, depending on, how much you stumble in the exercises, that kind of thing. But yeah, it takes about 8 or 9 hours to get through the material. And then that, of course, doesn't include the test taking time.
Okay. Is this standard Intuit, like, what is it, 80% pass rate, 3 chances?
Yep, all the same.
Okay. And then you're locked out for 60 days.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The course, if I wanted to invest in trying to do it on my own, although don't forget, you have the resource y'all below that will definitely help a lot of people move. If you're not needing the fast and easy way and you are able to just do the Intuit training and sign up for the boot camps, use that. Yep. But what's the cost of getting this, becoming a student?
So the retail cost of the Fast and Easy QBO Payroll certification course is $595. There are 6 sections, like I said, and but you guys have a $200 off coupon, which brings it back to $395.
Hustle with a capital H, y'all, and tag us down below, or make it if you need help spelling that out or anything.
And there's also, if you're not doing the coupon, there is also a payment plan, so you can pay it over 4 months if that if that helps. The coupon doesn't apply to that because it's spread out. So if
someone, I'm just thinking of different kind of learning or different potential students. if I'm a brand new bookkeeper,
Mhm.
you say I have to have my basic cert.
Yes.
Would you recommend people going for advanced or this one next?
You know what? That has been the topic of our team meetings
Okay.
for the last several weeks.
So other students are asking this?
I cannot. We're just asking it internally.
Okay.
I guess I don't know if we've had people ask, but we've been talking about it internally because we need to have the discussion with our students, like, okay, you've gotten your basic, which road do you go? I was surprised at how many people are going straight from basic to payroll. I really thought that I didn't think it would be that way. And so kind of internally we said, okay, we're going to send people to advanced. It's such a hard decision because it really depends on your business and what you want to pursue.
I mean, and Intuit themselves says that the advanced really should come like 6 months after the basic. Like they want you to have more of that time in QBO under your belt. So maybe if you are still learning QBO, I would think the payroll certification might be good because of the basic fundamentals that you're also being taught. The basic bookkeeping, like how to support small businesses, is a component of that. Whereas the advanced certification really is taking you through a lot of stuff that like you might not ever encounter, but it's going to be, it's going to bring you up in the ProAdvisor directory, and it's, very few people pass it. So it's maybe a little more prestigious. So yeah, it does depend. I guess have you noticed people getting moved up in the directory because of this? Oh yeah,
absolutely. Okay. So all of my beta students, who are the only ones I asked, they all moved up at least 3 levels. Okay. Wow. As soon as they passed as soon as they got their payroll certification.
That's, I mean, I'm not even taking QuickBooks Online clients anymore, and I still get inquiries because I'm highly ranked here. I'm highly ranked in my zip code. So.
Same here. Same here. I couldn't measure mine because I was already number 1.
Okay. Oh yeah, limited. Yeah. Right. I mean, people are hurting for help, and like a restaurant reached out, and I'm just like, in no universe am I helping a restaurant, but sorry, go ahead. Hopefully number 2 can help you.
Oh my
gosh. Actually, I think I'm number 3. I think I'm number 3 here. Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to be respectful of y'all's time. Y'all, download the free resource. Consider purchasing the course with our referral link below with $200 off with the discount code HUSTLE with a capital H. Please follow Margie. Where would be the best place for people to kind of stay in your orbit as you're continuing to educate folks?
That is a great question. We are people have been begging us, but we're finally launching a Facebook group of our own next week or the week after that, but I don't have anything. So the best way is actually to get that freebie document, because then I have your email and I can keep you up to date on what's happening.
Okay. Well, I will try to commit to putting that Facebook group link, because people are going to be watching this for months and months afterward, in the description below. So if you're watching this in like end of September, October 2022, that link to the Facebook group should be down below. We'll double check that. All right. Well, let's wrap up. Thank you for being here. Thanks for driving down. We're going to have lunch.
I know. And then I'm going to the beach. Got my swimsuit.
I have. Oh, I love it. I'm just a few blocks from the beach. So thanks, Bookkeeping Side Hustle community. I hope this was helpful. Please comment, give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and stay in touch with me and with Margie. Adios for now.
Bye-bye.